Good day all. This is Promise AC by name speaking on behalf of Group 13 batch 2017-0609 Circle 1. This is a business game presentation on the development of MMM Global in Thailand. But first and foremost, we'll do a brief introduction on Thailand. Thailand has a current population of 68,243,268 as at Monday, February 20th, 2017. Thailand's population is 0.91% of the total world population. Thailand ranks number 20 in the list of countries by population. And it is known for its tropical beaches, royal palaces, ancient ruins, and ornated temples displaying figures of Buddha. It has a capital named Bangkok, with a currency named Thai baht, with Thai as their local language. Extensive knowledge and experience in agricultural-based industries. Then before embarking on a journey of such, we had to do a SWOT analysis of Thailand to know the opportunities that we have as a community. So we did a SWOT analysis on Thailand to be able to outline the strengths, the opportunities, the weakness, and the threats of MMM Thailand. One of the major strengths, central location. Since it's populous, then we have a wider range of participants, and due to its healthy environment for employment, that's the major strength. And one of the major opportunities is international mobility, connectivity, healthy and safety concerns, aging society. Then one of the major weaknesses that we're able to bring out was insufficient scientific infrastructures, local productivity and efficiency, insufficient education quality, and insufficient health quality. And the threats that we're able to identify was aging society, climate change is also a threat, urbanization is also an issue, and strong focus on governance. Then, after outlining the various SWOT analysis of Thailand, which is the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and threats, our task 1, which has to do with we've received all the necessary information needed in order to become managers/leaders in MMM Global community. Now we have an important task: enter in a new country and develop MMM Global there. This new country will be Thailand. We have our resources, which is internet, a team, knowledge received from the MMM Guidance School, and the sum of $50,000 that we'll be able to use to develop our great community in Thailand. But first and foremost, we'll set up our aim. We'll introduce MMM Global to Thailand. We'll set up our objective to establish MMM Global in Thailand, to empower the populace through financial freedom and educate them more about MMM ideology, to improve standards of living of each member, to improve MMM Global services. So our first week task, a group made up of 10 members to introduce MMM Global. We were able to formulate a group made up of 10 member committee members to formulate MMM Global in Thailand. We have our motive, which is quick surveillance, use MMM Global site, make advertisements on social media, hosting of seminars at strategic places, 5-day seminar to be conducted with a targeted audience of about 200 on the average per day participants. Then we set up our target. Target audience includes students, private firms, owners, unemployed citizens, social works, bloggers, and internet marketers. Target participants per week includes 30,000 per week. Target deposit of $300 minimum per capita was also our target. We were able to outline our budget successfully. And secondly, we're able to outline the total cost of accommodation, feeding, teachers, stationaries, hall, and so on and so forth. We'll be able to allocate our budget for $50,000, and our expenses for that first week was 25,260, and our balance was left with $24,740. Task 2. A week has passed. We are 4 men. The average contribution of a participant to our structure is around $300. Under the regulation of Global, you must provide at least 30% growth in terms of participant payments, starting with the first contribution. Your task is to calculate how many new members and contributions you have to ensure in the next 3 weeks in order to be able to make the required payments to old participants. It is necessary to write down your plan of action for the next 3 weeks, which we did under the above conditions. Point out what resources you need and how you are going to use them, the numbers of new participants, and money. We set up our objective as usual: payments of older participants, recruitment of new participants to join and pay other committee members that are already existing. Our method, our average donation of $300, number of participants 3,000 participants. The situation at hand. In our first week in Thailand, we registered 1,500 participants, average contribution of $300 per person, amount generated by participant PH 450,000, percentage growth 135,000, 30% of 450,000, registration bonus of 1,500 times 20, which is $30,000. Total growth rate 30,000 interest plus capital plus bonus gives us $450,000 plus $135,000 plus $30,000, who summed up to $615,000. Amount needed to pay 1,500 participants within the next 3 weeks. 615 million minus 450,000 gives us $165,000. Approximated number of participants needed to contribute $165,000 divided by our 300 participants gives us 550 participants. Assuming a constant rate of 150 participants per week for the next 3 weeks, we should have obtained up to like 1,500 times 3, which is 4,500 new participants. Since 4,500 is greater than 5,550 members to pay first batch, then the system will be balanced, stable, and healthy. Strategies and resources. What are the resources that are needed? We are there to encourage new participants, to bring in new participants and get 10% referral bonus, train interested members as guiders, organize more seminars, social media publicity, phone numbers of TCDs, and create a call center to inform them of the opportunity MMM provides. Resources needed: internet, a call center team, a team for social media publicity. At the end of tax fee, we were able to gather that expenses of seminar and publicity cost $3,500, but recall our previous balance was $24,740, and currently our new balance is $21,240. Tax 3. A month has passed, you are 100. The same plan for another month on the basis of the results of previous calculations, taking into account the dynamic of growth, the number of new participants and contribution for the next 4 weeks. Our situation at hand. We will recall vividly that total participants for the first week was 1,500. Total participant after 3 weeks was 4,500. Hence, total participant after 4 weeks, 1 month, is 6,000. Total assumed referrals made by 1/4 of the participants with a 3 referral each. 1,500 times 3, which gives us 4,500 new participants. Therefore, total members for the second month equals 4,500 plus 4,500, which gives us 9,000 participants. So 9,000 participants will contribute 9,000 times $300 US, which gives us $2.7 million US. Inference: we could obviously see that new guiders are doing a great job, which means an intensive training of the guiders will be impressive and extra expenses on seminar unnecessary. At the end of tax 3, our new budget recall was $21,240 US. Since we are yet to start guiders training, the cost is zero cost. Solution: after the first month, we had a large turn-up of new registrations and we were able to pay off the contribution for the first week, which was due for GH. Strategies: encourage old participants to PH again and bring in new participants and 10% referral bonuses. Task 4. After second month, you have the number of participants and deposits that you have calculated. Now you can calculate what you need to organize within the next month. A week after the start of the month, there is the local holiday in Thailand, which celebrated in a week, respectively. In this period, the activity of registration falls by 75%. That we should make a plan of action for the next month, what resources and how you should use them, the right amount of contributions, and participants for the development of the system. It is very important that we remember that our weekly target was 1,500 participants, but our situation at hand is that a reduction in new registration by 75%, implication of registration drop of 1,500 times 0.7, which gives us 1,125 participants. New registration drops to 1,500 minus 1,125, which gives us 37,375 participants per week. Hence, there is need to sustain the number of current participants and level for the 3 weeks left. To achieve this, we will divert a means, intensify guidance training, present more seminars, social and media adverts. Recall our previous budget balance was $21,240 US. Expenses on tax was $3,500 US. Our new budget balance equals $17,740 balance. Task 5. Our plan did not work out. We do not have enough new registration and new deposits to cover the cost of the current deposits. It is necessary to analyze the plan of action in this situation. What are the resources, how many participant contributions, etc. needed to get this situation resolved? Due to lack of funds, there are delays in payments. The old participants seeing their neither make their own contribution nor attract new members. Conditions: as a result of the holiday in the second month, it affected and had caused a drop in new registration by 75% to become 240. This drop in registration of new participants has prevailed to the end of the month, regardless of our efforts. Objective: strategic planning to resolve issues, resource needed to resolve issues, increase the number of participants to make contributions to sustain the system. Since registration 1,875 participants wasn't successful, hence we assume that just 700 participants registered. For the second month, we were able to get 375 plus 700 plus 700 plus 700 participants, who summed up to 2,475 new participants. Hence, we have deficit of 6,000 minus 2,475, which gives us a total of 3,525 participants. Contribution made by 2,425 participants will be 2,425 times 300, which gives us a total of 7,425 US. Deficit contribution. cost $1.8 million minus $742,500 who gives us $1,057,500. Participants needed to generate such funds gives us a total of 3,525 participants that are needed to develop such funds. What are the situations? Bearing in mind that we are running low on our budget, so we couldn't afford money-intensive plan, but instead increase the manpower so that there is need to get new participants, and due to lack of funds to pay our old participants their 30% Marvel growth and their bonuses, we delay payment to watch if there will be new registration of participants coming in. Methodology to achieve this would employ the following strategies. Existing guiders should organize an emergency seminar to address the panic in the system, lay emphasis on the ideology of MMM, launch a guiders school program in Thailand, where new guiders, managers will be trained to help train others on how to keep the system healthy, which is by continuous pH and GH and panic management, with a few days delay in GH payment to allow more pH to be done. Increasing publicity through social media and promoting financial freedom, intensifying awareness campaigns more strongly. Also, we need to cover more states and regions within the shortest time period. Previous budget balance recorded that it was 17,740. Expenses on tax, seminar and publicity is $1,500, and new budget balance gives us $16,240. Tax 6. During this month, delay in payment increased to 7 days. Referral activity almost reduced to 0. The old members do not attract anyone and do not make contributions to. Inverted to this, a situation, a pause mode is implemented in which all the old Marvels are frozen and will be available for withdrawal when the situation will right itself. New deposits due as per hold conditions are now frozen and available as usual. Make a plan of action for another month. Therefore, our plan of action as usual, our situation with referral activity dropping to 0 means no new participants were registered, nothing was paid. However, the trained guiders were able to bring in 500 new participants with an average pH of $300. 700 times $300, which gives us a total of $210,000. Which then reduced the number of participants needed from 3,525 to 2,825 participants, thereby reducing the total amount needed to $847,500. Participant needed, recall, is 2,825. Total amount needed is $847,500. But this effort was not enough to salvage the entire situation, hence extending the pause. However, since fresh deposits are not frozen, fresh testimonials of Marvel Go to make the hope of old participants alive, since their Marvel is frozen, and it will further instill confidence in them. Because of the belief that making new pledges will unfreeze their account, fresh testimonials from old members would have written letter of happiness had benefited, will also bring fresh members and negate bad and unhealthy publicity about MMM in Thailand. Our objective, as usual, will be set. As pause mode is inevitable, members should be adequately guided about the pause mode and how it can be overturned. Increase MMM awareness in the remote part of the country. Methodology: the use of testimonials and letter of happiness. Inform guiders that Marvel on new deposits are not frozen so that they will be encouraged to bring in more new participants. Manage information so that the present state of our system remains between our team members. Continue with media and social advance. Continue to hold seminars at old and new venues. Renovate banners and make new handbills. Previous balance summed up to be $16,240. Cost of operation 1,500. Our new balance summed up to be $14,759. Task 7. Your efforts have been insufficient to reverse the situation. A restart took place. All the old marbles are removed. We start to work from the beginning. Serious negative impact of the members, an unfavorable response, one or two negative articles in the mass media, and you have to make a fresh start in such conditions. A plan of action under specific conditions for a month. Our situation, the restart of the system is necessary. We need to reintroduce MMM, which is our objectives, which is the second most populated city in Thai, Nonthaburi. So we need to invade such a situation, such a city that has the highest population. Our methodology that will be employed, reset of Mavro, nevertheless, to change the bad reputation for good. Few steps must be implemented. Inform people on MMM ideology and encourage them to provide more help than the way they get help. Do not shy away from the fact that this will make people feel sad. Organize a seminar and inform them about the restart of the system. Endeavor to provide valid answers to queries and mitigate every negative talk. Guidance should provide help effortlessly, as this would convince the people better. However, we would maintain our presence in the capital through the internet, major blogs, print media, mass campaigns by our guidance and team members to other states for recruitment. Funds kept aside for emergency will come into use to make it possible, and lessons learned from the Bangkok campaign will be fully utilized, such as non-availability of enough guidance to educate the participants as the MMM community was going into Bangkok. Our plan of action will basically need to launch massive campaigns on financial seminars, carrying out the kind of activities that carried out in our first week of arrival. We'll also have to combat the media by being transparent enough to tell the truth about the present state of the system and what led to the restart, displaying testimonial of people who benefited in the pre-restart phase of our operations, could make people want to join at the beginning of the restart so as to benefit first and fast. Launch more batches of guidance school to multiple carriers of knowledge, and still who will help mass educate the people on best practice on MMM platform through sponsored seminars and so on. With all these ideas and with all this put together, MMM will be successfully inaugurated in Thailand, and every issue that threatens to disrupt our system will be treated. This SECO1 is made up of 8 members as outlined below: Mutali Salim, Augustine Dick, Princess, Ari Teremi Yesa, Ifeanyi Imokwe, Ganiyu Abiodun, Victor Olofe, Tochukwu Anakioku, Promise Phoebe AC. A 8-member SECO teamed or titled SECO1 put down this presentation about our business game plan of invading Thailand. With this and with our efforts from future events, we'll be able to show to the people that MMM is here to stay, MMM is here to help the needy, and MMM is here to eradicate poverty. And MMM is here to disrupt that inhuman society that we currently live in, where individuals are turned into slaves just because of the love of money. With this, we can say that we are proud Mavrodians, and with Mavrodi in Nigeria, with MMM in Nigeria, we can change the world, we can make the world a better place.